Greetings and salutations, fellow Ashen Ones and Undead. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. We're doing one of them tier list things we've been doing so much this year. Before we get into it, however, and we'll get into it pretty quick here, there's a ticker at the bottom of the screen, leads you to my books, my Discord, where you can come hang out and chat with us. I'm actually there.
I actually post there.
Yeah. There's our Twitch and Patreon, most importantly. If you sub to us on Patreon for at least $1, it'll make you cool like Jesse Weock, Rob, a guy from Ohio, and Passion Killer 711. Someday I'm going to have to write it down. Yeah. And if you go to the $5 tier, those of you who enjoy our Journey of Wrestling videos, you can get those a week early. There will be more tiers coming in the future. There will be more content coming in the future. Shit is happening. And it could happen a lot faster with your financial support. Either way, we appreciate you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends.
Don't bother with the bell.
Unless you need it. You know what? I'll leave the bell up to you, all right?
You know what? Yeah.
I'm giving you agency.
If you like the bell, do it. I don't.
Just turn it on and off. Who cares?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Go nuts. So, we are doing a tier list for specifically the bosses from the Dark Souls games.
Yes.
Not Souls-like, not Sekiro, not Bloodborne, and not Elden Ring. One, Elden Ring by itself is double this amount of bosses, I'm sure.
It's at least equivalent.
I've never beaten Sekiro or Bloodborne. I've never beaten Dark Souls 2 either, but at the very least, this minimizes the amount of time I'm going, I don't know who the fuck this is.
It's going to be like fully half this list.
Okay.
Dark Souls 2 has a stupid amount of bosses.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, do you want to just go in the order that they're presented here?
Sure, why the hell not?
Like a pair of nuts. We're starting with the Iron Golem. That is the boss of Sen's Fortress, just before you get to Anor Londo and Dark Souls 1.
Alright, so I think this is a good time to establish the criteria by which we're judging.
Let's also establish spoilers for the Dark Souls series.
Yeah, all of it. So I think general cool factor is definitely a thing.
Sure. I think at the end of the day, the biggest and most important factor is how much you enjoy fighting this boss.
Yeah, enjoyability of the fight.
Yeah, whether you're struggling against it or it's easy, so long as it's fun, I think that's the most important factor. I think the things that are going to make the difference is lore and visuals and such.
Like good difficulty.
Yeah.
Because there's certain bosses on this list that I'm not gonna rate very highly because I find them not. It's not just that they're hard, it's that they're hard and fucking it's frustrating because they have 10 walls of hit points and that's why they're hard.
Iron Golem.
Iron Golem isn't like that. He's got a lot of hit points, he's very tough, but like a lot of his battle isn't so much that he's tough, it's playing around the terrain more than him. Because you're going to end up knocked off that bridge a lot.
So is he.
Yeah. So it's you both playing around the terrain.
And did you summon Tarkus?
I've summoned Tarkus one time for that fight, and one time I did not.
Iron Golem is fine.
Yeah, I would say he's a solid, good, big C tier to start us off.
Big C for the Iron Golem. Gwyn, Lord of Cinder.
So he's an easy boss with really solid lore and great visuals. He's the final boss of Dark Souls 1. And as the final boss, he's something of a disappointment.
You know, the funny thing is, that's for us, though. And that's fascinating to me because you and I had very different playthroughs of Dark Souls 1. You went with a mage build, I went with a big giant build.
Well, I stopped it with the mage build halfway through. I ended up beating it in a whole different run. With a big fat ass in Havel's armor. And Dex katana. Right.
I think I had a similar build. I was just using Smoke's armor. So, honestly, Gwyn is one of those guys, though, that the lore really brings him up. Yeah.
And, I like the interpretation that he's trying to lose that fight.
Right, but he wants to convince you to do it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to elevate Gwyn to B. Would you argue with that?
Oh, I wouldn't argue with that at all. I don't think he deserves much more than that, because he ultimately isn't very hard.
He's not. I know a lot of people have struggled with him, but, as somebody who is completely new to the genre...
Same.
When I got to Gwyn, I was braced for hell and met a light heck. which, you know, in and of itself was memorable. I'm never going to forget that first fight with Gwyn. So let's move on to Great Grey Wolf Sith. So for good boy points, right there. But, like, actually as a boss fight, where do you think it belongs?
If we were just going by sheer goodest possible boy, or goodest possible girl in this case.
That's true.
Yeah, clearly. But, like, the camera's really awkward, and it actually is really sad. That, like, when you've almost got her down to 0, she's like limping, and it's really like I feel like I'm putting down old Yeller. It's not a terribly fun fight. It's cool, but it's not terribly fun. I would say she belongs with Gwyn right in B tier.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Maybe not quite as good as Gwyn. The fluffy fur graphics in Dark Souls 1 were often weird.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, just not what I would have gone with. But good lore. Fun battle in general.
Yeah, the camera's awkward to deal with. Not as awkward as other bosses on this list.
Gravelord Nito.
So he's one of those. He's not like a gimmick boss, but he has a timer.
No. Sort of, yeah.
At a certain point, he ceases to fuck around, I believe is what the deal is.
Basically, he just keeps summoning more and more skeletons, and, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, the run-up to Gravelord Nito is fucking awful, but the boss himself is mostly just fun. Like, you gotta be about your business. You can't be fucking around, but he's mostly just fun.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know.
Special.
I don't know if he's as good as, you know, I think he's better than Iron Golem.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's a good place for him. High up in C.
Even within the lore of Dark Souls, I feel like we know the least about Nito.
He's just some weird necromancer. He's barely connected. He lifts right out.
Yeah, other than, you know, taking one of the original fragments, but, like, what did he even really do with it? Like, you know.
Be a Gravelord.
I guess. Gaping Dragon. I am inclined to pop
F tier for
that.
the name.
But I feel like that name adds some sauce to what's going on.
It's accurate.
Makes it worse.
It's accurate.
I would pop this in A tier. A Gaping Dragon's a fight I really like rerunning.
He's very challenging. He has a specific set of things you have to learn the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true for a lot of the Dark Souls 1 bosses, more so than the Dark Souls 3 bosses. Because again, I've only barely played 2. But you have to learn that fight a lot because he's going to be doing stuff in a very specific order, and you have to play around it. I would say with his little helper that you have to go kill first, he is more annoying, but without it, it's just a good solid 1v1. You versus this giant, awful dragon monster. I'm comfortable with him in high B, low A.
High B, low A? Okay. Yeah, let's go high B for now. We can elevate him
A
later.
and S.
And the intro. A Gaping Dragon for a lot of people, they either say Gargoyles or the Gaping Dragon as the now you're playing Dark Souls boss.
It's, oh, wow, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, some shit's about to go down.
So next up is the Four Kings.
This is just a straight DPS check of a boss.
Yeah,
and
kinda.
It's kind of floaty and weird.
It is
you're
a
in
little
big,
weird.
like, empty zone, and the bosses themselves aren't that fun. Their lore isn't amazing, and you don't even have to kill all 4 of them. If your DPS is good enough, you can kill the 4 kings and 2 kings. But, like, I honestly don't like the 4 kings that much. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get down there. You need a special item.
Yeah.
You can die on the jump if you don't aim it right. And the boss is just a raw meat. It's a DPS check. And it's not even, like, a fun one.
Yeah, it's a challenging boss, but not
because of
inspiring.
Not because of a skill gap. It's challenging because do you have enough points?
Yeah, I think that's kind of fair. I was gonna say C because I've just watched that Iron Golem fall off that bridge so many times, but I would be willing to accept D if you think that's where it belongs.
I'm not a fan. Like I like these I like these bosses a lot. I like Dark Souls a lot, but yeah, D.
D. And if you don't find that other bonfire, the run up to Four Kings is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I believe you showed me where that other bonfire is, and thank you.
Demon Fire Sage, by the time you fight it, you wreck it. I would put that in a solid...
I don't even fucking remember that boss, bro.
There's like you might not have fought it because you opened up the shortcut.
I tried to save Solaire.
Yeah, but I went back and fought it. It's just the Asylum Demon, but he shoots fire sometimes.
Oh, I think I fought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so forgettable.
Yeah, it's just the Asylum Demon, but it's like a shiny Asylum Demon.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, see, perfectly serviceable.
Dark Sun Gwendolyn.
I never fought Gwendolyn. To be fair, I've beaten Dark Souls 3 like many, many times, and I've done basically all the endings. I don't know, literally all the endings. I've only beaten Dark Souls 1 once. And I like Anne Orlando. I think it looks nice, shiny. So I've never fought Gwendolyn. I've seen the fight, though. And it looks fun. It looks like a fun gimmick.
Yeah, it's a neat gimmick. I like Gwendolyn's lore a lot. But as far as the fight goes, I'd say below Sif. I'd say a low B.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Crossbreed Priscilla, I've never fought her, and if you do, you're a monster.
Yeah, people who fight Crossbreed Priscilla go in F tier.
Yeah.
She's
Absolutely.
so nice. She's so nicely goes, please don't.
Yeah, in a game where everything you come across tries to murder you, NPCs go mad and try to kill you after you help them, Crossbreed Priscilla is just standing back with her scythe like, alright, nice to see you, please leave.
Look.
Who are you to deny her request?
It's not like she's kind of, I mean, there are other people who request you politely leave later that I did end up fighting. But Priscilla's so nice.
Yeah. Chaos Witch Quelaag.
Quelaag is... So a lot of the challenge at Quelaag comes in her big fire zones.
Oh yeah, the lava shit, that's nasty.
And that can get frustrating, but ultimately, like most mediocre Dark Souls bosses, her run-up is more problematic than her.
It's a pretty straight shot, though, compared
She's
to...
at the bottom of Blight Town.
Well, sure, but once you get that one bonfire, it's just a run. You just gotta dodge the giants.
Yeah, but at that point in the game, you probably don't have fast travel. You literally can't.
Right.
So you're stuck down there until you beat her.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's true. There's enough shit to level up on down there that it was never a problem. My Dark Souls 1 experience didn't include a lot of shopping or anything, so...
That's fair.
It never really bothered me.
But yeah, I don't have anything against her. She's fine. The fire zones are an interesting mechanic. They've reutilized later in other games. Notably, there's a lot of bosses in Elden Ring that do that. They'll just create big zones of lava.
Yeah. I think the engagement in the fight is fun. I was gonna say
she's got her human parts have good fun attacks to get around.
Yes. I was gonna say B somewhere.
Yeah, I'm happy with B.
Where do you think in B?
Under Sif.
Under Sif, okay. I am
spinny dog.
Yeah, I'm amenable to that. Taurus Demon, the big bully of the bridge. That's another guy I accidentally watched clip through the floor and die a couple times. He's a very nice tutorial boss, and a late game enemy.
And he is the tutorial boss much more so than the Asylum Demon.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that. He's kind of a basic bitch. I'd rank him below the Fire Sage. Do you think below Iron Golem?
Yeah. Iron Golem also falls off his bridge a lot, but at least he's got some swag.
Sure. Centipede Demon. I don't know if you ever fought this boss.
I fought this boss.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool visuals.
I fought him. I beat him the first time I fought him. I don't know that I ever fought him again. I actually beat Ceaseless Discharge twice. I don't remember because I've used the trick once, and I also just beat him once because I didn't know about the trick, so I just had to.
Well, you were having a hell of a time.
Gut it out.
You. Well, where would you put Centipede?
I don't know what other run I did where I beat him again.
Maybe after we got the remastered version. Maybe?
I don't know. But no, it was the mage run where I beat him straight, and then the katana run where I actually did the thing.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because that's about where I gave up that run. Centipede Demon. I honestly, he's so forgettable. I literally just skip past him talking. So I don't.
I'm gonna say better than Demon Fire Sage.
Yeah, at least more unique.
It's a more engaging boss, more unique. Yeah, stop that. Oh, it's temperamental today, guys. Ceaseless Discharge.
This is the first straight up gimmick boss.
This
is Yorm.
Not as much, but yeah, he is and he isn't. There's a way to beat him, and one of the ways I like about Dark Souls is that you have more flexibility and
there is, look, you can just square up with him and fight your fight, but it sucks. Having done it, it sucks. Use the cheese.
Do you think it's a better fight than Four Kings? Do you think the lore is better than Four Kings?
I don't really even fucking remember the Lord of Ceaseless Discharge. So.
He was the brother of the lady whose clothes are near him.
And that's why he gets mad.
That's why he gets pissed.
Because you're robbing her grave.
Disformed. Also, he's got the best STD Dark Souls boss name.
I mean, and that is a crowded fucking field, but you're absolutely right.
We got shit like Seath the Scaleless, and you get the Belfry Gargoyles. That's not good. I've never burnt my Ivory King, but, you know.
Honestly, like, for a gimmick boss, he's not bad. He is, like most gimmick bosses, absolute fucking nightmare to fight straight, but that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not on the game. So, I would say...
I'm going to say better than Four Kings.
Yeah.
Capra Demon. Hard boss.
Hard boss.
Nice early hard boss.
The dogs are the boss.
Pretty much, yeah. Capra's bad, but, like...
Once you manage to find a strat to get rid of those fucking dogs, he's just a bother.
I would think below Gravelord Nito.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's not as important. There's not as much lore there, but in terms of like early game Dark Souls, especially if you've never played a Souls game before.
And he's at the end of that fucking run with the ninjas.
Yeah. Dragon Calamite. Did you ever fight Calamite? He's in the DLC.
He's the one who does the fucking laser beam, right?
I think he does a laser beam, yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It's a fun dragon fight.
Yeah, that's fine.
In a game that has... in a game series that actually has relatively few fun dragon fights.
Do you not like the toe stabbing of Dark Souls 2?
I've never played it.
There's a lot of toe stabbing.
Oh, good. But I think Calamite is fun. I like his big pointy head, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, good design, I'd say.
Like, the fight itself is about the same level as the rest of the fights in that DLC.
Sure.
Just like A+ Dark Souls 1. No, there aren't any bad bosses in that DLC. The big fucking Chimera Gargoyle is great.
That thing's cool.
And Artorias is great. And this one is, I mean, he's probably the least of them in terms of how fun he is to fight. But I love his big pointy head.
I'm going to suggest above Gwendolyn.
Okay.
Do you have any place you'd like to shift that at all?
No, I think that's fair.
Okay. The Bell Gargoyles. That's a fun one.
This
Very
is,
classic.
For me, this is the, it's Dark Souls now boss.
They're, I don't know. They're fun. They're classic. They got so much, like...
They're more, it's a better pace fight than Slam and Jam.
Sure.
So, like, it's another duo fight. You gotta fight two bosses at once, but it's paced better.
Yeah.
It's more fun. It's not as hard, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And you can get a fun thing if you attack the tail. I like that.
I miss tail cuts. I do.
I actually really do too.
We're saying that as a note of surprise because we're usually not quite as clingy to old mechanics of games like that. It's like, okay, no, this is usually better.
Like, I'm not mad it's gone, but if there was like, there's a lot of dragons in Elden Ring. If I cut one tail off and got a fun dragon weapon, that'd be cool.
That'd be sick. But, like, specifically in terms of mechanics, it's just fighting two big guys.
Yeah, it's not terribly challenging. It is, once you've gotten decent at Dark Souls, pretty easy.
So I'm stuck between B and C here.
Like, I have several aborted runs of Dark Souls 1 that I've started and then gotten to various points and stopped. And the Bell Gargoyles is probably... I've beaten them a lot, and...
You know what? I think I'm going to move Gaping Dragon up to A.
And then put
and
Bell...
then let's put Bell Gargoyles
at the bottom of
somewhere here. Bottom of B?
Bottom of B.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think Nito's better, like, as a figure, but...
Better and more interesting.
They're so
lore, but...
classic.
Yeah.
Bed of Chaos is a hot F.
Yeah, just straight F tier.
It's a fucking...
we won't be entertaining debate on this. It's fucking awful. It is the worst boss in Dark Souls.
I'm not even sure it was a good idea.
No, it's a shitty idea, too. Like, it's not... This is not a game... The game... Dark Souls 1 does not control well enough for there to be a fucking puzzle boss.
No, that's especially not with jumping and shit. Pass on that.
Elden Ring could get away with a puzzle boss. This game can't.
Asylum Demon.
He's your big fat buddy.
Yeah, I kind of...
He's a big galumphing dumbass.
You know
I'm gonna
what?
be honest.
I'm going to put him above Fire Sage
Just
purely because he's harder to forget.
Yeah. Look, sometimes the classic is better than the fucking Code Red, okay?
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it works. We're getting into some of the Dark Souls 2 stuff here. For some reason, these aren't in order. I don't give a shit. You know, King Vendrick. As a boss fight, I only fought him having properly gotten all the gimmicks, all the giant souls. So he wasn't goddamn impossible. I didn't have that moment of, oh shit.
Now, I have actually seen several Dark Souls bosses videos. I've never played Dark Souls 2, and I'm not fucking going to. But I've seen this guy, and he looks cool.
Yeah, and it's very much a tragic fight.
Yes.
It's what
Gwyn.
if Gwyn were actually trying to kill you?
Yeah, it's Gwyn, but like 90,000 or so failed attempts earlier.
And it's a lot of stuff leading up to it because you talk to Vendrick so much and you learn so much lore from him and you realize why he's such a sad, crushed individual, and then you gotta kill him.
You talked to this dude before the fight?
Yeah, several times. He's like your quest dude.
And then he's like, alright, time to fucking throw down?
He just goes hollow.
Oh, that's fucking cool. No, alright, I like that.
Yeah. You know what? Fucking Chad
I wish
Vendrick.
this game had better mechanics.
Chad Vendrick over the fucking
The Virgin Gwyn.
Virgin Gwyn.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of.
Although to be fair, in the lore, Gwyn is.
Yeah, Gwyn fucks.
If there's one thing Gwyn
he
does,
will not
it is
stop
fuck.
fucking. Velstadt, the Royal Aegis, he's okay. He's the guy you fight before you get to Vendrick's room.
Is he the one with the fucking? Is he
The Bellhead.
Okay, all right.
It's a fine fight.
It doesn't look as cool.
No.
This is the information I have about Dark Souls 2.
I'm gonna put him above Nito. It's a good fight. He's a cool dude, but he's not as iconic as the Bell Gargoyles. And like, I went at him twice and like moved on with my life. It was nothing crazy. Twin Dragon Riders from Dark Souls 2. Wow, I do not remember this.
So we're going into the question marks.
No, give me just a second. What about Stray Demon? The demon that's underneath the asylum.
So double
Asylum
shiny
Demon
asylum.
2,
Yeah, double shiny asylum demon. I would say Stray Demon has the benefit of having his big explodey circle, but he doesn't have the forgettability of I'm a fire guy. So I'd say he goes right in between the two demons.
Yeah, I would honestly maybe put him above Asylum Demon because he feels like the final form.
No, he's clearly the hardest one.
Yeah.
But like,
I think he's kind of fun, and he's foreshadowed if you play the game.
because you can see him.
You can see him over there and hear him and stuff. I think he's kind of cool. I would put him above Asylum.
No, I'm not gonna fight you.
I remember who the Twin Dragon Riders are now. I don't know why they're a boss. They're like nothing personnel, kid.
But you're forgettable and fucking lame.
Yeah. Same kind
What
of
is this
thing.
fucking paragraph?
Throne Watcher and Throne Defender, they're a boss fight in between other boss fights. Before you fight the final boss of the game, well, depending on if you have the DLC or not, they're just kind of there to waste your resources. They're Slam and Jam Diet Walmart brand. Great value, Slam and Jam Diet.
I'm hearing a lot of D.
Yeah, better than the Dragon Riders.
I would like to keep F tier fairly exclusive for literal failures.
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. I don't even think they're as cool as the Four Kings. They're just two guys.
Okay, that's fair.
The Rotten is a fun boss fight. It's a cool boss fight. It's not the most dynamic, but like visually and lore-wise, there's so much stuff from the world that feeds into it. I think the Rotten is a really compelling boss in Dark Souls 2 Vanilla.
Okay.
Placing him... I don't know if he's good as the Bell Gargoyles.
I would be looking these people up so I can get a better look at what they look like, but I don't have my phone.
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
I could Google it.
It's not worth
Okay, it's fine. The Last Giant, the first boss in Dark Souls, unless you
I
specifically
fought
go
this
fight
guy.
the Sentinel.
Yeah. He's sad.
He's sad, but he's
And
pretty
easy,
cool.
but
he rips
like-
off his arm and beats you with it.
But,
That's
like,
pretty nice.
cool.
Yeah. And I do like the design of the giants in Dark Souls 2 a lot.
big faceless circles,
Yeah.
Well, he's not terribly hard, but he's sad and cool. That gets you at least to C tier.
Yeah, I think so. I might put him above Velstadt, if I'm being honest. He's kind of neat.
Okay.
Whoop, there we go. The Duke's Dear Freya is a very difficult spider boss. Or was she even difficult?
Last Giant ended up at the bottom of C tier, and Grave Lord Nito stole his spot.
How? You monster. Grave Lord Nito. You know what?
Oh, shit, he's getting punished. All right.
Yeah, don't do that. I'll move you again. You'll be below the Capra Demon. What then?
All right, what were you saying?
Duke's Dear Freya is a spider boss in Dark Souls 2.
Spider boss is usually pretty good.
Yeah, she gets foreshadowed a little bit. She's kind of cool. I mean, like, I don't know.
All right, so better or worse than Quelaag?
I like Quelaag's lore more. I like everything that happens about Quelaag more.
Okay.
Duke's Dear Freya is kind of like say you went across town and invaded the old mayor's home when he's not around, and you had to fight his dog.
Oh. Okay, that's... So your character's kind of a dickhead, then?
Well, no, the old mayor, I don't know, set the town orphanage on fire and used their bones to learn magic or something.
It's like a demon dog or whatever. Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know. She's all right.
No Shelob.
Yeah. I mean, it's decent, but I didn't have a hard time with her. I'm just gonna... We'll go right there. No, Velstadt. Sorry, you're not that cool. Nito!
Look, he's trying to get his. Well, I can't hate.
Smelter Demon. Let me look real quick and see if they differentiate Blue Smelter Demon. Or if we put these together.
I don't see a big blue fucking circle.
I don't see Blue Smelter Demon. We can move it later, I suppose. So combining those two together, Blue Smelter Demon's run-up is a pain in the ass. And regular Smelter Demon's a pretty cool boss. One of the few things that I've borrowed from Dark Souls 2 for D&D stuff was the Smelter Demon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a cool boss arena.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, okay.
And I wore his armor through the rest of the game. So.
That thing. I remember that armor too. That looked cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick boss. Not as cool as the Rotten. Maybe cooler than the Last Giant. You know what, Smelter Demon, you can have B tier. Low B.
Skeleton Lords, as I understand it, is booty.
I'd say low D tier. It's just the skeleton war.
It's just an infinite number of skeletons until you empty the boss's health meter.
Yeah.
So it is half of Gravelord Nito.
Kind of, yeah. Except that you're actually just fighting the skeletons. There's some shit in Dark Souls 2 that should not have been considered a boss. Sir Alon.
Now this motherfucker I know.
Yeah.
This is the fucking samurai.
Yes, great character, amazing lore, really tough boss fight, and
I have seen internet fucking essayists crow about how great this boss fight is.
I would put him at the top of A or the bottom of S. What do you think?
Really?
He's a very good, he'd get to the bottom of S through lore, and also Lady Maria is not involved in this, so I don't have to consider that. So he can be there, I don't have to think about it too hard.
Okay.
But, you've seen some of these boss fights and stuff. What is your reflection? What do you think the people would think?
I think he is universally regarded as maybe the best boss in Dark Souls 2. I have listened to a couple videos about Dark Souls 2 bosses. I've watched them. Again, I'm not playing the game. It looks like shit compared to the other Dark Souls games. As a game by itself, it's obviously really good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's so hard to replay, though.
But I'm not gonna fight you. I think having Dark Souls 2 needs at least one S, and I don't get the general sense that the rest of these people are gonna make it.
There's a couple that are contenders, but let's go ahead and put Cyril on there. We can always move him later. Who knows, maybe Nito will try to steal his position. Sin the Slumbering Dragon is probably the best dragon fight in Dark Souls 2. This is the dragon that is full of poison. He was attacked by a poison spear, and when it is pulled free, he unleashed the poison on the town, and you gotta fight him. Pretty cool boss. A little bullshit. I wouldn't put him in A.
So
maybe between Sif and Quelaag.
Okay.
Cool visuals, cool arena. Scorpionus Nika.
There are a lot of fucking bosses in Dark Souls 2.
There's too many. She's cool. Honestly, just really a solid boss. I will put her below Gaping Dragon.
No, wow, that's high praise.
Yeah, she's just a very cool, solid boss. Ruined Sentinels. These are enemies. I don't think they qualify. Where did we put Taurus Demon? Below that. There you go. All right, Seath the Scaleless. We're back to Dark Souls 1 and stuff you have experience with.
Yeah, Seath the Scaleless isn't a terribly hard boss fight so long as you can dodge the breath.
So long as you figure out the gimmick, you got to hit his crystal first, too.
You gotta hit the crystal first, and you gotta dodge the fucking curse breath. But other than that, he's just sort of a big bucket of hit points who can't really run from you.
I love his lore. He's got one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, he's got very like mad wizard fucking.
But also like a betrayer and the betrayed. Like there's a lot of good shit going on with C. For personal reasons, I would like to place him above Gwyn in B.
Okay. I'm interested in the personal reasons.
Fuck Gwyn.
That's fair. Okay, fair enough. That you don't need to elaborate. That's a perfectly reasonable take.
Royal Rat Vanguard is a dumb boss.
That's the big dog, right?
No, that's the Royal Rat Authority.
Oh, okay.
Royal Rat Vanguard is a bunch of rats that scurry out of tunnels, and only one of them is the one you're actually killing.
Oh, so it's the deacons?
Yeah, but not as good.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that. Yeah, right there.
Is it bad? Is it a failure? Is it bad enough to join the bed of chaos?
Like, it's a gimmick boss, and it's okay. It can get annoying if you get overwhelmed, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. But, like, the worst of it is that it's annoying. It's not great, but I don't think it's a failure. Royal Rat Authority is a big dog that we are told is a rat.
That's a big dog. I've seen the dog. It's a dog.
It's an okay fight.
It's kind of a weird mangy dog, but it's a dog.
Maybe above Capra Demon? No. Maybe above Centipede Demon? No.
I get sometimes you gotta say it out loud. Alright. Above Iron Golem?
I think above Iron Golem, because you can't just bitch him. He's actually a decent fight.
Above the demons?
I think I'm going to put him above Demon Fire Sage, because the other ones have just enough more that they deserve that position, whereas Fire Sage, not really.
That's fair.
This is an underrated fight.
Okay.
Pursuer.
Now, I have fought this guy.
Yes, he is tough.
He is tough, but fun.
I think he's fun. If the only way you figured out to defeat him was to use the gimmick that I never fucking touched.
I don't even know what the gimmick is.
The first time you fight him, near where the last giant is, there's a crossbow ballista there. You can shoot him with it.
Oh, no,
he
I had
just
no
fucking
idea.
dies. No, I had no idea either. I did that hard way.
I just atrioc'd it.
Yeah,
basically. I just fought him and 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 fought him until I figured it out.
I would be okay.
Maybe the last Dark Souls 2 boss I beat.
With a B? Do you think a B?
I think a B's fine.
Yeah. Do you think better than Sif?
Yeah, he's a better boss fight.
Okay.
He's more fun.
Do you think better than Gwyn?
No. Okay. He doesn't have the lore to stand up to. I think that's the thing. I think once you get past, like, Gwyn, you gotta have good lore, too.
Prowling Magus and Congregation is a room full of regular enemies.
So that's in the fucking...
It's not a boss.
Not a boss?
Or not even a question mark. I'm sorry, that's a failure. It's not a fucking boss. It just isn't. Look, Skeleton Lords are at least, like, increasing in difficulty. There's sort of a theme going on. It's the Skeleton War. It's probably the first one of these style boss fights you encounter. That's kind of neat. You know? This is just a room full of dudes. They're not even special dudes.
So it goes in F. It goes in F with the Bed of Chaos.
It's not... I mean, look, it's a fight, so it's better than the Bed of Chaos, but... Old Iron King is a giant demon half submerged in lava. You are fighting the Balrog.
Well, that sounds cool as fuck.
It is pretty cool. He's a tough boss fight who uses a lot of ranged magic attacks. You get some cool helpers. Probably one of my favorite zones in the game, in the vanilla game, is his zone. Not as much as Hade Tower, but...
Hade Tower's pretty.
Oh, God, it's one of my favorite zones. But it was a pretty cool fight. Nothing, like, crazy good. I don't even know that I like him as much as Smelter Demon. I would actually put him at the top of C. The Old Dragon Slayer. That is Ornstein. It's just Ornstein.
So is it just Ornstein, like Ornstein shows up? Is it Ornstein's armor that shows up in the...
Well, so there's a lot of questions about that through the lore. There are some people who think the only Ornstein you actually fight is somewhere in Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Not the one on the bridge, but maybe the one that's lost in
Yeah,
the DLC.
The one at the end of time.
Yeah. But there's some theories on that. People think that the old Dragon Slayer might be one of Ornstein's followers. That.
But it's Ornstein. Fights
But
like
the
Ornstein.
boss fight is Ornstein, yes.
Ornstein by himself might be a more interesting fight than slamming.
It wasn't too bad, and there is a nice startling part of it because he's in the Hade zone. You get there later, you unlock the door after having gone through several things, open it, and there's fucking Ornstein.
You fucking looking around the corner for big splashy hammers.
I would put him. He's Ornstein. I think he deserves to be above the Smelter Demon. I don't think it's quite as cool as the Rotten because it's just a same boss again.
It's Ornstein.
But, you know, he deserves the fire there. Nishandra is a pretty cool final boss. Well, depending. She's okay. I'm gonna say better than Gwyn. Maybe even better than Seath. She's got a really compelling story, but like mechanically, the fight was fine.
Not. It has the good lore, but not the good mechanics. You kind of need both.
You know, even Gaping Drag, I'm gonna put her below Vendrick. Actually, the more I think about it, I like Vendrick more as a character within the story.
But you think she's good enough mechanically and lore wise?
Yeah,
to get
it's a pretty good boss fight.
That's fair.
Mitha, the Baneful Queen, is a mediocre boss fight with a cool gimmick. She's a Medusa. She's holding her own head. There's a river of poison around her.
I've seen this. Yeah,
it's pretty neat. It's nothing really to write home about. Better than Centipede Demon, I think. Lud and Zalin, the King's Pets. Good God, this was a hard fight. I'm going to say better than Sif. Pursuer was a cooler fight. Especially because the run-up to this is fucking stupid. Through the snowfield, with the fucking magic reindeer full of lightning coming out of nowhere to kill you.
I've also seen that run-up.
Yeah, that's fucking nonsense.
Lost Sinner is a cool name.
Lost Sinner is a cool name. Lost Sinner is cool lore. It is a chaos bug inside the corpse of some literal prisoner.
Oh, neat.
So it's fucking... what's her name? Izalith.
Yeah.
Just, you know, puppeteering something. Pretty cool fight. I would say slightly better than The Last Giant.
Hey, something I can talk about.
Sanctuary Guardian, the first DLC boss.
I really liked Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Some
me
people
too.
do not like Sanctuary Guardian, but those people were not prepared for the difficulty spike between Dark Souls 1 and the Dark Souls 1 DLC.
Sure. Well, they had to imagine you played the game a couple of times first before fighting it, given when it came out.
And I like Sanctuary Guardian. I
Yeah.
think it looks cool. It's a fun fight. It's hard, but in a good way. I would say, where did we put fucking the dragon? I at least above Calamite.
Above Calamite.
I believe Calamite is the least good boss of that DLC.
Calamite is right
B.
there. High B, yeah. I think it's... I would put it above the Pursuer.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. But Gwyn has just got so much story.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's a...
He's the lore wall.
Yeah, he is the
To
lore
get past Gwyn,
wall.
you've got to be cool. Whether, like Gaping Dragon, you're just fucking cool looking, or you've got the solid lore.
And Scorpionus Nika has got the cool... Or Najka. I can't quite see it, and it's been a long time.
Has got the lore.
She's just an engaging boss. It's less the lore. It's just she looks cool.
Oh,
and
so she's
kind of
Gaping
fun
Dragon
to fight.
tier.
Yeah. She's got that Gaping Dragon energy. Looking Glass Knight has a similar feel, and I believe is supposed to summon like copies of you from his mirror if you look into it. Although I do not remember that.
That's cool.
But it's a cool fucking fight. I don't know that it deserves to be above. I'd say just below the Rotten. It's a really neat fight, very dramatic. The entirety of the castle of Drang Lake is, you know, leading up to that point, basically, the first time you run through it. Guardian Dragon in Dark Souls 2. That's a shit boss fight. That's the toe stabbing.
Is that the big fucking meat dragon?
Yeah, and he's
who's
not
just 1 billion hit points and doesn't do anything cool.
Basically, yeah. You if you're beating him and you haven't unlocked your chakras, you're just waiting for him to slam his feet down and then stabbing him in them a bunch. It's not an engaging fight. It's kind of dumb.
Okay.
The Giant Lord is a cooler fight. I would say he's a cooler fight.
I think he should go above the Last Giant.
Than the Last Giant, yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
High C.
Is he cooler than Lost Sinner? No, not from a lore perspective. The Giant lore is very good, but this is so fun because it's something that crosses games. It's one of the few obvious points at that point in the game that's no, dude, this does relate directly back to Dark Souls 1. Fume Knight. He was hard, but I don't know about, good. I guess above Duke's Dear Freya. He was difficult, and he had a lot of, they were trying to build him up as this sadistic asshole through the whole DLC. But by the time I got to him, and he had such bullshit mechanics, I didn't feel like dealing with him. He wasn't...
We're gonna have that conversation again later.
Yeah. Flexile Sentry, again, didn't we already have one of those?
Nope.
Oh, we had Ruined Sentinels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different thing. I need to look that up. Flexile Sentry is what I meant to put here. Let me check what Ruined Sentinels is. What is the next Dark Souls 1? Pinwheel! Why don't you talk about Pinwheel?
Pinwheel he's trying his fucking best, man. He's trying his best. Look, by all rights, he should probably be an F tier because he is a joke. Even if you're not very good at Dark Souls, I believe there was an old joke from a comedian. Even drunk on a bet, you make it to Canada. Even drunk, you end up beating Pinwheel.
The only way
but he's so fun. He's having a good time.
And he's got great lore, and he is Giant Dad. The only way Pinwheel is difficult is if you go to the catacombs first.
And even then, he's not that bad.
No. I don't think he belongs in F tier.
No.
I think he's better than... maybe... He's got such good lore, though. So
look, I'm not gonna fight you raising him up to D tier. Anything above that, no.
No, I don't think so. I think Four Kings are a better fight. And honestly, a better version of the Pinwheel fight. And Cecil's Discharge has got way better lore. So Pinwheel can live right there. Just it's a tragic story and an okay fight. Executioner's Chariot, I fucking hate. It took me forever to figure out the gimmick.
F?
No. I'm trying to decide if it's better than the Royal Rat Vanguard.
You know what? No. I haven't played it.
You've decided no?
I've decided no.
I was stuck there forever, and it was just...
if memory serves, it's one of those, I have to wait for 5 minutes while you run in a big circle and then dodge out and hide in the alcove.
Have you been in any of the...
It's the big rock from Sen's Fortress.
It's the big chariot trap from Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's the chariot trap, but as a boss.
Yeah, it's just...
Declined.
Yeah, it was a good idea, at the very least. The execution was not good. Ilana, the Squalid Queen... I don't know if she's as good a boss as Sirlon, but I'm going to drop her at the bottom of S tier.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's one of the most evil characters in Dark Souls 2. Irredeemably, cackling mad. She does have that beautiful hint of tragedy to her. You have to fight her and, a corrupted visage of Velstadt at the same time. Great boss arena, gives a good speech. I think she's a really solid character.
Okay. And the mechanics are there? She's
a nice, tough boss fight, and it feels very compelling to fight her. Dragon Rider. It's just one of the twin Dragon Riders. More is better. So there you go.
Demon of Song, that's the toad, right?
Demon of Song's fucking great. It's an easy-ass boss fight, but
that's the toad with the skull in its mouth.
Skull.
Oh, fucking a minimum B.
Yeah.
Minimum B. Right in the Sif zone.
Yeah, right. Oh, in the Sif zone?
Just on sheer fucking hilarity.
You know what? I'll give it to you. Well, not as good as Sif, but like this is love. A frog full of skeletons who is a demon that is singing beautiful music.
That's the kind of bonkers shit I'm here for.
Dark Lurker is the optional boss of Dark Souls 2 that you have to do a lot of bullshit to get to. I think I liked it more than Nashandra, not as much as Vendrick. And it did raise a lot of questions that I don't think ever really got answered. But it was a cool fight. Very difficult. The Covetous Demon is a Jabba the Hutt. It is a regular enemy later, but it is a Jabba the Hutt.
It's a Capra Demon.
Yes, but he is a big fat boy.
So above Capra Demon.
Yeah, probably. Where is Capra? I've lost track of everything.
That's because it's so much Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2 has too many bosses.
It does. I agree. This should never have been a boss. This is one of them. Bell Gargoyle. Capra Demon. There we go. Yeah, not as cool as Grave Lord Nita. There we go. I like him. He's good. Sarah. Oh, the Grave Robbers. You count that as a boss?
Does that go in the not a boss tier?
Yeah. Honestly, I
At least Pinwheel's a boss.
Yeah.
He's a shit boss, but at least he's a boss.
I think there needs to be some moving there. Flexile Sentry below them. Ruined Sentinels. Ruined Sentinels is a bunch of guys you fight in a ruin.
Dark Souls 2 seems to be a game of extremes.
Yeah. Burnt Ivory King. I don't know if I want to put him in S tier, but I'm going to go above Vendrick.
Oh, wow.
What a great story. He is a noble king who was one of the few people, and his wife is one of Nashandra's few sisters who are not corrupted by the shards they inherited, the souls of the bosses from Dark Souls 1. And he descends into, this realm of fire and chaos to fight these evil soldiers and cursing onto his castle. His wife begs you to go try and save him. He is already lost. You have to fight him.
Oh, yeah, all right.
It's just really good, and it's a fun, difficult fight, and I really enjoyed it. The DLC for this game has got such good lore. I never even fought the Belfry
You
Gargoyles.
have stolen bunches of it.
I have. I never fought Belfry Gargoyles. I didn't. I just didn't.
Okay.
It's just the gargoyles again.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Ancient Dragon. Are you? No.
He's the Ancient seems
Ancient
right.
Dragon's the Toe Dragon.
That seems like the great big fat motherfucker.
Guardian Dragon's the guy in the cage. He's a fine fight.
He's the guy in the little bird cage?
Yeah. I would put him better than the Covetous Demon, absolutely.
There you go. Reaching the end, folks.
Scholar of the First Sin. Mediocre boss fight, cool character.
Doesn't get above Gwyn, then.
No, I wouldn't put him above Gwyn. I don't know that I'd put him above... You know what? There you go. He's got better lore. Ava the King's Pet is just the solo version of Lud and Zalem.
The King's Pets.
Below... Quaylog. Yeah, below Column 8. Below Gwendolyn. That's good.
And we're done. We're done with the fucking Dark Souls 2 bosses. This list is fucking mostly Dark Souls 2 at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They have too many fucking bosses. Yeah, that's better. Alright. Starting with Dark Souls 3, our first Dark Souls 3 boss, Vort of the Boreal Valley. Did you enjoy your break?
I did. It was nice.
I'm glad.
Vort is fucking... Look, if you are not prepared, if Illidan is right, if you are not ready for the smoke, Vort will fuck you pretty quick. But once you are ready for the smoke, Vort is a DPS. Vort is like a good way to test to see if your build is going to be a problem.
Yeah. he's intimidating, but like only so much.
Only to the new.
Yeah. I don't know. He's definitely not bad though.
He's certainly. I wouldn't put him below C.
No.
But like, and he's got fun. I think the Boreal Outriders in general have good lore.
Yes, they're very interesting. I am going to say above Nito, above Aldia. No. Let's say right here, just below Nito.
Okay.
Do you have any arguments with like Capra Demon, Centipede Demon?
I would say he belongs. Look, a lot of the Dark Souls 3 bosses are going to belong above a lot of the Dark Souls 1 bosses just by virtue of time being a thing.
Sure. Half-Light Spear of the Church.
No, fuck that boss. That's the PvP boss, right?
Yeah.
This boss is a complete crapshoot. This is either going to be fucking a reasonably well-designed, fun boss fight, or hell.
All right. Let's assume you're playing in offline mode. Let's like universalize
actual Half-Light.
Half-Light and his big friend.
Oh, he's a reasonably fun, well-designed boss fight with good lore. I would say mid B.
Mid B, really?
How many times have you actually fought Half-Light?
Yeah, a couple of times.
He's fun. He's not terribly hard though, so I would also take high C.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I think Old Iron King's more fun fight. Soul of Cinder out the gate.
Big balls to start with the king, as it were. Soul of Cinder is many bosses, and one of them is what if Gwyn was actually trying to fuck you up?
Yeah.
I love Soul of Cinder. Soul of Cinder, for those of you who haven't beaten it in a while, solo, who always summon for it, try it again solo, just for a laugh. It's harder than you remember. I love it. I think it belongs. It has amazing lore, first off. The Soul of Cinder has amazing lore. Not the best lore, but I would put it clearly in S tier.
I think the implications of Soul of Cinder are so strong because of the way they built the boss fight, you are fighting your Dark Souls 1 character in a way.
Yeah, your Dark Souls 1 character. Your fucking previous Dark Souls 3 run, maybe, depending on the situation.
I think it's a better fight than Squalid Queen. Is it better than Sir Alon?
That's got to be your decision. You're the only one who's fought one of those.
I could be persuaded one way or the other. I'm going to leave it there for now.
That's fine.
It's Slam and Jam, baby. Ornstein and Smog.
Look, this will make you rage quit a run. Like, full on. Ornstein and Smog is bullshit.
So, like, here's the thing. I love both of these characters. I love everything this boss fight signifies. I like the run-up to the boss fight. And Orlando in Dark Souls 1 and 3 is one of my favorite zones just because of how much time I spent becoming familiar with it.
Visuals, and it should be important to note, most of the mechanics in Anor Londo, good.
But
most.
Ornstein and Smog are one of the few bosses in Dark Souls that are literally just broken.
Yeah, just bullshit.
Like, above and beyond being ridiculously challenging, some of their mechanics don't work right.
And you don't get to know which.
Like summoning Solaire, for example. He's shit at drawing aggro.
And that's what you need in that boss fight.
Yeah. It's one of the few fights that I've helped people through in Dark Souls 1, though.
I mean, same. Because, like, you gotta pay it forward, dude. You gotta pay it forward because Ornstein and Smog is a real trial of the spirit. This will make you go hollow. At least, like, and I think this is a case of how much can really, really good lore drag a shit boss fight up.
After some consideration, I'm going to move Scorpionus Nazca to
below Gwyn?
Below the Sanctuary Guardian. Okay, the more I think about it, the more I'm not sure she deserves to be there. So, I have a proposal.
Okay.
Either we make Ornstein and Smog kings of the B tier.
And you gotta be, their lore, that's as high as you can get on lore alone.
Sure. And I think it's a good fight if it were working properly.
If it weren't buggy as fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Or at the bottom of A tier.
No, I think Kings of the B tier.
Kings of the B tier? Okay.
Like, this is as high as lore alone can get you. You have to have good lore to get past Gwyn. But if all you got is good lore, yeah, look, that's
where is
top.
the quest? Top. You know what?
He's the best Dark Souls boss.
Oh my god, come back.
Where'd he go?
He's gone.
Where the fuck?
He was too powerful. Oh, here he is. He's difficult to defeat right now.
He's the best Dark Souls boss. I don't think that's debatable. Like, I look, you might have one you like better, but Slave Knight Gale is the final boss of Dark Souls.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
His design is perfect. His lore is unmatched. Slave Knight Gale fucking rules.
Sister Frida.
Good lore, real fun, challenging as hell. But once you know the fight really well, you can just sort of get good past it.
I don't appreciate that they don't list her dad or whatever. Get me my flail.
Well, I mean, you did just call him her dad or whatever.
Well, but he's okay. There's like a million Dark Souls bosses. I can't remember all their names.
I would say she doesn't belong anywhere below A tier.
No,
She's got the good mechanics. She's got the good lore. I don't know most of A tier at this point, so that's got to be on you.
I think top 8 tier. I really like Burn Ivory King. I probably like his lore more, but I think this is a better fight. Pontiff Sullivan.
Fuck him.
All right, and I accept that, but
Fuck him. I hate Pontiff Sullivan. Pontiff Sullivan fed me my penis so many times.
that specific word choice, I approve.
The first time I beat Pontiff Sullivan, I felt like God. I literally stood up and did a yell. I can absolutely clown him now. He is no longer a challenge. Pontiff Sullivan, I have ascended beyond you. But fuck him. He's got good lore. He's got good mechanics. I have gotten good past them, but that doesn't mean they're not challenging. B.
Yeah.
That might be fucking sour grapes lowering him.
Well, so here's the thing, though. I think Pontiff Sullivan might be the platonic ideal of a Dark Souls boss.
What do you mean? Speak to that.
In the sense that he is the boss among a lot of bosses that is the one that makes you go, oh my god, this is bullshit. But then you learn what you need to do to kill him, and you become all powerful. You glow, your hair turns fucking Super Saiyan 92 blue.
This is the first guy. This is the guy who made me go Super Saiyan. So that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
In that sense, I want to say like right around here, maybe even above Nishandra. Yeah, that feels about right. He's not as hard as Dark Lurker.
You're absolutely right. He is. Frida is challenging, and she has that same mechanic of once you know the mechanics, you can get past it. You can get fucking swole. You can be the training Draugr and get past that fight. But Pontiff Sullivan is like the absolute Venn diagram, because Sister Frida, to be clear, never pissed me off one iota as much as this motherfucker.
And I think Pontiff Sullivan's lore buoys him a lot.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
Regardless of what you end up fighting last, he's the villain of Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that's fair. He's a bastard.
Yeah. The old Demon King. This is a good fight.
Highly cheesable.
Yeah. I'm going to say maybe above Sanctuary Guardian.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's as good a fight as Sanctuary Guardian, but I think it's better lore.
I think his death, he's like just before death animation.
Him with the last dregs of his power holding on.
It just tells so much story that we just don't get out of Dark Souls 1.
And in the best Dark Souls way of not actually telling you anything.
And his boss room and just everything, Osiris the Consumed King.
Nah, he's kind of shit. I don't like that he's a wall behind which better bosses are hidden. He's just a big fucking spinny ball of hitboxes or hurt boxes. And like he's only a challenge because he's in a really big uneven room where half the time he is slightly too high for your weapon to hit or slightly too low.
All right. What do you think about right between Kalameet and Gwendolyn? Because he's got like lots of similar stuff to Gwendolyn where you're in a really narrow arena. He is very dragony like Kalameet with a lot of dashing attacks and shit like that.
But Kalameet's in a better arena.
And I think Kalameet's a better fight overall.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. And did you have a suggestion otherwise?
I think part of this... Yeah, that's... no. I mean, like, yes, but no. Part of this is that, like, there's one of the various challenge runs I was doing at the end of Dark Souls 3 before Elden Ring came out, I had a fucking hell of a time getting past him.
Yeah.
Because I was specifically doing a challenge run that made it really hard to kill him before I ran out of Blue Estus because I was doing a spellcasting run, and oftentimes I would miss because of the stupid uneven boss room he's in.
Boss rooms make a difference, man.
It's part of the fucking overall package.
The Nameless King.
Very cool. Very cool. The phase 1 of it, however, is broken bullshit garbage.
Yeah, that camera's so bad.
Like, I can easily clap it now, but I remember this pissing me off.
So do you think he's better than Gaping Dragon? I mean, he's harder, obviously.
He's obviously harder. That's not what this is about.
And he has that Sullivan thing where you beat him and you're like, oh my god. He's the vanilla optional boss.
Yeah, he's not like in a DLC or anything. He's just in the game, hidden beyond some fucking weird steps. And you kind of got to work at it. But he's fine. Better than Gaping Dragon. He's got really good lore. But honestly, even once you get past the shitty phase 1, his mechanics aren't like amazing.
He's abusive. He does a lot of damage and he's in your face.
You don't get there's not a lot of room to fuck up. I will say that he feels like the prototype of basically every Elden Ring boss.
Sure.
Barring like 2.
Sure.
Just the way he delays before hits and shit like that. Him and Gale feel like the prototypes of Elden Ring. So in that way, he can't get too low. And he's got great lore. Bottom A?
Below Gaping Dragon?
Below.
Okay.
Like, he's clearly a better fight, but Gaping Dragon got swag.
Yeah. And it's just such,
He's got swag. You don't need to elaborate.
This is labeled Lothric Younger Prince, but I don't see a Lorien. So, the Twin Princes.
Why did you label it like that's the Twin Princes? Twin Prince is one of the most fun boss fights.
I mean, like, if we're just talking what I love, bam, right there. I will run this boss fight until the end of time.
I'll fight you.
But, Sir Alon is a pain in the ass, man. I love this fight so much.
No, Twin Princes is fucking fun. It's got amazing lore. I love that they just said no.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. That's a loser job for bullshit. No. I love that. That is some good shit. You aren't my dad. You don't tell me what to do. I love it.
Even my dad doesn't tell me what to do. He's a weird dragon in the basement now.
Ha 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 ha. The Twin Princess is also an incredibly fun, challenging boss fight.
Yeah.
It is oftentimes the most fun I have in a run of Dark Souls 3. Gale is better. Is the only reason.
Mechanically, yeah. Like, this is the two guys in the cars. But I will concede defeat. Slave Knight Gale is a stronger mechanical boss fight. Udex Gundyr.
Udex Gundyr is a great tutorial boss. I think he's probably a better tutorial boss than the Taurus Demon.
Okay. I think he's a better tutorial boss than the Asylum Demon 2. Man, he is really good.
He's fun. He's not
hard. Do you think he's better than Vort?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, Vort is harder. No, actually, Vort's not.
Vort is not harder. Do you think he's better than Half-Light's Spear of the Church?
That's hard. They're so far apart, and you're so much better at the game by the time you even get a chance to fight Half-Light. Whereas, like, Udex Gundyr, the strongest memories you're going to make of him are 2 things. The first time you fight him, where it takes you a couple dozen tries, if you're me and bad at video games, and the last times you fight him, where you're clowning him with a big fucking wooden club.
I'm going to stick him upper C.
Okay.
He's fun. High Lord Wolnir.
All right.
He's at least a boss. No.
He's shit.
He's a boss, though. And if you don't know the gimmick, even though it's staring you in the face, he is difficult.
And to be fair, if you fuck around and wait too long or don't know to get out of the stink gas, he'll kill you.
Oh, yeah. And you have to be better. I'm going to say he's a better gimmick boss than Ceaseless Discharge. I think High Lord Wolnir is a...
Well, at the very least, the gimmick is much less hidden.
Yes, it is a better execution on what they tried to do with Ceaseless Discharge. I wish we could see what they had planned to do with him.
In the Profane Capital?
Yeah,
I think... By the way, he clearly fits so much better.
Oh, yeah, there was, like, trailer footage of him with it in there.
Like, he clearly fits there better. He clearly fits better as the leader of the Profane Capital. Like... He's got the fucking drippy drip and all the treasure around the it just fits better.
I respect what they did, but I wish I could have seen the other thing too and made a decision.
There, but for what could have been?
Curse Rotted Greatwood.
That's. I mean, again, it's the Wolnir rule of if you don't see the gimmick, I mean, you're not going to beat the boss.
Yeah, it's kind of a gimmicky boss. Even once you see the gimmick, though, it's difficult. It's not like he's Wolnir and it becomes, can I hit this guy 6 times?
But it's like a not low stress fight at this point in my life. You know what? I'm not doing much right now. I'll go fuck up the Great Wood.
Do you think it's a better fight than Vort?
No.
All right. Do you think it's a better fight than the Capra Demon?
Yeah. Okay. It's got more fun shit going on in it.
I would say it's better than the Covetous Demon, but not as good as the Guardian Dragon. Covetous Demon, I mean, he really is just a boss, but he's just so... He, like the fucking Gaping Dragon, he's got swag. Moonlight Butterfly.
This is broken. Moonlight Butterfly can just decide to fucking...
There are certain scenarios in which you can't kill Moonlight Butterfly.
It's never gonna land. And you don't get to fight it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to fuck up a specific series of events to do that, but it is entirely possible.
To walk into Moonlight Butterfly and just be unable to kill it ever.
Now, that being said, one of the few actual broken bosses in Dark Souls is here in B tier.
So you're saying that shouldn't stop it from ascending to its rightful place otherwise?
I am going to barrack for Moonlight Butterfly being the Queen of C tier. It was one of the most...
It's a very
haunting,
pretty boss fight.
And it does have its difficulty. You know, if you have the assets to defeat it, it's not like it's unfun.
No, it's a good romp. It's a good time of a boss fight. Not terribly challenging, but not bad either. Decent lore, fun stuff, just broken. So yeah, much like its broken brother Ornstein and Smaug, King of C.
All right. Champions, Gravetender, and Wolf.
Oh, okay.
It's annoying Sif and friend.
Yeah, it's bullshit Sif, who I don't feel bad about killing, and some fucking PvP douche hanging out in the boss arena. I don't like this fight.
Yeah.
Even now, I have gotten, I will say fairly modestly, pretty goddamn good at Dark Souls 3. I have a hard time beating this on anything lower than New Game Plus. I just don't do enough damage. Now, to be fair, that is with challenge builds, but still.
It's not that fun, is the thing I have a problem with.
It's not fun enough to be worth how much bullshit you want.
I often skip it just because I don't feel like
and
it.
It's down there, and it's out of the way, and fucking, get out.
Would you say it's better or worse than Osiris?
Worse.
Worse. What about Gwendolyn? Or the Bell Gargoyles?
I would say it's about Bell Gargoyles tier for very different reasons, but about Bell Gargoyles tier.
Well, we'll put you just above the Bell Gargoyles.
It's just not normally worth the hassle to get down there.
Yeah, Bell Gargoyles got that.
Yeah, they got that. Yeah. They got that classic.
I'll put it. You know what? You're better than just one Ornstein. There we go. Dragon Slayer armor. Speaking of Ornstein. I don't see any more Dragon Slayer armors, so let's take this as also the one in the DLC.
The much harder one, but the exact same mechanics, and it doesn't have butterflies around it.
Those butterflies are fucking crazy, though. I don't know, this is a pretty good fight.
I like the Dragon Slayer armor. It's a very learnable fight.
Yes. I kind of think bottom of A.
I mean, I almost want to take points off for how shitty the bonfires around it are, but but no, bottom of A seems fine.
It's not a bad fight the more I think about it. And encountering it again later.
And by the Nameless King.
Really
I like that.
Stuff. I am now noticing that there are bosses missing.
Whomst?
Oh no, that's what Demon Prince is. Okay, never mind. So this is the bats. Demon Prince.
Yeah, okay. It's the demon in pain and the demon from below and the
then
Demon Prince.
Yeah, the powers combined.
I don't like that boss. It's just a big fucking wall of hit points.
It is. I think its mechanics are kind of fun.
It has fun mechanics. If it had about 75% of the hit points it has, I think it'd be a much better designed boss.
So do you think maybe just below Ornstein and Smoke?
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think it's a very...
Good lore.
Yeah.
Good zone. Very challenging bullshit zone before it.
Yeah.
But you can get past that, and the run-up is nothing. The run-up doesn't exist. It's bonfire boss fight.
Deacons of the Deep, I think, is the best execution on fighting a bunch of randos.
It is the best execution on the DPS check mechanic.
Do you think it's better than Cecil's Discharge?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what about... they're better than Wolnir.
They're better than Wolnir. Come on.
What about Taurus Demon?
Yeah.
Iron Golem?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
That seems a little much. But it's the best execution on this boss fight is just a fucking raw DPS check mechanic.
Well, and I don't even know DPS check. I mean, it's a matter of like figuring the gimmick out and then taking out the gimmick and how bad shit can get if you don't.
That's the thing, is if you let the boss fight go on long enough, you die. No matter where you are in the boss arena, you get cursed and die.
Yeah. Dark Eater Madeir.
Okay, so now we're gonna fight. Dark Eater Madeir isn't very good.
I think he is one of the better versions of a type of boss. He might even be the best version of a type of boss. But
I have recently fought a very similar boss who is worse Madeir. I'll give you that.
There are flaws in his design. Now, that said, he is an optional boss. He's the optional boss of optional bosses.
And I'm not saying it is not allowed to exist, but any boss fight that turns Dark Souls into a bullet hell, where if I get clipped once, I'm dead, I'd say is not a great design, especially when, even if you and I've done this, have a build specifically built to fuck him up specifically, with all the shit that he's weak to stacked on top of itself, he's still so many fucking hit points.
Yeah, buckets of hit points is not my favorite
way of doing
technique.
Difficulty.
Yeah.
You may have noticed I bitched about it a couple times during this podcast.
It's a way to have you experience the boss fight, but there's a point after which it just feels like it's taking forever. That said, there's a lot of really good things about the fight too. It's got incredible visuals. The lore of actually fighting one of the ancient dragons corrupted by the pus of man, by the dark soul, is really potent. The way you fight him all throughout the
several fights you have to fight him for.
And I mean, in terms of the Pontiff Sullivan rule, my hair is still a little upward in gold.
Yeah, like, he does make you go... I've never beaten Dark Eater Madeir. I've beaten Dark Souls 3, 7, 8 times, or something like that. I've never beaten Dark Eater Madeir. I've never really come close. I don't like the boss fight, so it's never seemed worth grinding out. I'm not gonna... Where do you think he should go? And I'll see if I consider it enough of a sin to fight.
Flaws and all, I would put him in the neighborhood of Old Demon King, Sanctuary Guardian, thereabouts. I would maybe be inclined to put him above Gwyn, but I really like the Old Demon King boss fight, and I don't know that the Old Demon King is better than Gwyn, so...
You know what? I'm fine with anywhere in B tier. Okay. I thought I was going to have to fight you to keep him out of S.
No. Dark Eater Madeir is a flawed fight. Again, like, and I will say nothing of any of the other Bloodborne bosses, but if Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower was here, she goes above Slave Knight Gale. I have never felt more like I was an expert swordsman in an actual fight than fighting that boss. And it was after all of the bullshit of Bloodborne that I played out of order and had a terrible time with. I will say nothing bad about that boss. I don't know if it's the best in all Souls, but good lord, it's amazing. But Dark Eater Madeir, he can solidly go right Dark Eater mid here. Nice. Dancer of the Boreal Valley is another broken boss. Literally one of her grapple attacks, the box is too big.
It's just way bigger than her hand.
Yeah. But
once you learn that, you can play around it, but...
I don't think if she's got the pomp of Slam and Jam...
No, but she's better than Vort. I'll give it minimum. She's fun. She's got cool visuals. I don't generally like many boss fights where you're stuck in a fucking tiny room with a giant thing.
I think this is one of the better ones, though. You have more room to maneuver than you think. You have that cover to play with.
And the cover means something, unlike lots of fights where you have cover and they just blast through it.
I would put her above Seath.
Okay.
I don't think her lore is as strong, but I think her boss fight is pretty good.
Better, certainly, than Seath.
Crystal Sage, also known as Purple Whack-A-Mole.
Purple Whack-A-Mole is not a well-designed boss fight.
That's not a bad one either, though.
No, it's middle of the road. It's... I think it's so much RNG of do you happen to be close to where the real Sage is when it spawns? Yes, no, you lose or you win.
Do you think she's better than Curse Rotted Greywood?
Yeah.
Do you think she's better than Vort?
Yeah.
What about Gundyr?
Iodex?
Yeah. Well, there's not another Gundyr. Oh, no, there he is. Champion, yeah.
I like Iodex Gundyr more. He feels more skill-based.
That's fine with me. I think she's fine to be better than Duke's Dear Freya. I think it's got a cool arena. Yeah, you're right. It's one of those that can just... You're either having a fine time or really pissed off because of the bullshit.
Like, it's just so much RNG. So little of whether or not you beat this boss has anything to do with anything you've done.
Sure, yeah. So long as you're able to, get some hits in and survive a little bit. Like, otherwise it's still just a, did you guess right? Check. And a lot of running around the arena. Champion Gundyr.
Champion Gundir's a fucking Chad. He's real tough. He's in a very interesting lore-wise place, with a lot of fun implications about his existence and the fact that he's there.
Yeah.
I really like that, and he is a good boss fight. He's a motherfucker, but, like, in a good way.
So this is the first one we really come into conflict on. I don't like him as much as Iodex Gundyr.
Really, why?
I think for the time, when you're playing, Iodex is a harder fight. By the time you find Champion, you're going to be way strong.
But he doesn't fuck around, man.
He doesn't, but he also doesn't have the second phase.
No, well, he does. He has like a fucking... He
Right.
goes red eyes and starts using different moves.
But not the big, huge, intimidating, puss of man, welcome to Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's interesting that you say... I think it's just differences in how we play Dark Souls.
And it
'Cause
might
for
be.
me, I've always found Champion Gundyr way harder.
Oh, I usually body him.
Really?
Yeah, I usually don't have a problem.
Neato.
But like, I want to hear... Let's find the middle between these two things. Where would you place him? Because I would probably place Champion Gundyr just under Iodex Gundyr.
I would probably place him somewhere in... be around about the... I would place him above Osiris, certainly. He is the more cool, interesting boss that Osiris is fucking cock-blocking me from fighting.
All right, so let's split the difference. What about if we put him above Champions Gravetender and Wolf?
Okay.
There we go. Ancient Wyvern. Okay, it's neat.
I've never even bothered to fight it, actually, the real way.
I tried a couple of times. I think I finally beat it once.
I mean, it's not impossible.
It's just tedious.
It, much like all dragons, it's just way too many fucking hit points.
What do you think? Above Ceaseless Discharge? Above Wolnir? It's just sort of
It's probably one of the better... Actually, there is a boss missing. Where the fuck is Yorm?
Wow, no, yeah, there's no Yorm. Huh.
All them fucking Dark Souls 2 bosses and you miss fucking Yorm?
You know what the funny thing is, too? I did some counting, and I went to the wikis, and I counted up the number of bosses there. I went to another list, and they had the same number of bosses between the two lists, which was more than was on the wikis.
What the fuck?
Who knows?
And you miss Yorm.
You miss Yorm.
Ancient Wyvern, I think, is probably the second best execution of a gimmick boss.
Okay.
Because the run-up is the boss fight, and that's fun. That's a fun thing.
So just top of D?
Top of D, sure.
Aldrich
Yorm.
Devourer of Gods.
Yorm, since he's not on here, I think we should say where we would put Yorm.
Okay.
He's the best execution of a gimmick boss.
I would succeed him somewhere in the bottom of C.
Yeah.
Maybe better than Iron Golem or
Golem.
Demon Fire Sage. He's not a very complicated boss. I'm sure if you tried to kill him the hard way, that might be more fun, but that's not what you're supposed to do.
And it's certainly possible to do. There are strats for it.
If you're following the Onion Knight story, there's good shit there.
Yeah, he has real good lore, but he's just a gimmick boss. He's the best gimmick boss, so he gets to be in C tier.
Aldrich Devourer of the Gods.
Hard boss fight with a couple bullshit pieces that are just time wasters.
I love the absolute horror of understanding where you are, what you're fighting, and what is going on, what happened.
And in a way, I have fun, Gwendolyn.
So I would be putting this at least in A tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't think it's quite good enough of a fight to be an S tier.
No, it's not. It's not. But I would say right around like Armor, Nameless King, bottom of A.
Yeah. You think better than Gaping, or not as good as Gaping Dragon, rather?
I think Gaping Dragon might be a little high, but at this point I don't want to move him.
He's the Gaping Dragon. It's a similar situation with how I feel between Midir and Gwyn. Yeah, Gwyn, he's absolutely a better boss than Gwyn.
But that's Gwyn!
That's Gwyn, yeah. You know what, Aldrich, we're going to give you what part of your dad never had. You can just be right above Gaping Dragon there.
That's funny.
Manas, Father of the Abyss. This was a fine boss fight. Very intimidating. I love the stuff with Sif.
This is a good example of how to does 1 billion damage as a boss.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't actually have that many hit points.
No.
It is a race.
Yeah.
Are you faster at doing DPS than this asshole? Yes or no? Guess what? That's what's going to decide this fight. And I really love the lore.
Where would you put it?
I would say it's got good lore, it's got good mechanics. Low A, or if you had some quibbles, which you could have, some of the mechanics are shitty. Especially that grab, I think. I would say high B, below the Kings.
Yeah, I'm thinking like below Gaping Dragon.
Okay, I'm not gonna fight that.
He's like,
it's better than Calamite.
Yeah, he's better than Calamite. I think he's better than the Nameless King. Not in terms of difficulty. Nameless King is way harder, but the atmosphere and understanding exactly what you're fighting in the moment.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Whereas Nameless King's got a lot of great lore around him, but fuck if you're gonna figure that out on your own.
Body Vidya does not get all... You can't... No matter how cool your lore is, if Body had to explain it to me entirely for me to understand it, you don't get full points.
The Abyss Watchers.
This is a good fucking get good fight.
Yeah.
You can't... This is good Slam and Jam.
Yeah, I'd agree. So they probably should be an A somewhere.
Yeah, this is better. This is well-designed Slam and Jam. You can't beat this fight without being good. Even if you're fucking broke, you're gonna have a hard time beating this fight without being good at Dark Souls.
What do you think about in relation to Pontiff Sullivan?
They didn't make me go Super Saiyan, so below.
Below. Okay. Are they a better fight than Nishandra or Aldrich? Better than Gaping Dragon. Their lore is also incredibly good.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Knight Artorias.
Best Dark Souls 1 fight. I'm going to be upset if he goes below any Dark Souls 1 boss.
I'm going to suggest he go here.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect.
Fantastic fight. Very frustrating, but again, much like Lady Maria made me feel more like I was having an actual fight than any Dark Souls 1 or 2 boss.
I died to Artorias more times than I could count, and I was happy and smiling the whole time. It felt like a war. It felt like the end of a fucking anime.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Much like the fight against Gale.
So yeah, that's our tier list. We'll probably do an Elden Ring one eventually, although we might be missing some shit.
Look, man, half the Elden Ring one is going to be Dark Souls 2 for me. It's just too many. Like, look, this is Elden Ring. That's how many bosses there are in Elden Ring.
I went hunting, and I still missed shit. There was a boss that I haven't even seen his model before. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll let you go. Do you have any wise words that have never been said before on this podcast to sign us out with?
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.